Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with you. I'm throwing the Bearcade Lego the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes, or if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. It is the first day of July. We have started a new month. So that means that we've got a new song queued up on my stream deck. The gift sub leaderboard has reset. The leaderboard has reset. The cheer leaderboard. Lord Crashington's here saying, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Crashington. It also means, oh yeah, Lord Crashington wants me to dance button. Sure. I've got the Gundam Aerial full mechanics, and we're gonna finish that up. It does not love the remover sometimes to move a model kit. Yeah, it'll disappear sometimes, but if everybody put it in front of my face, we're okay. Yeah, I got this kit. We're going to finish that up tonight. But yeah, as it's a new month, we got a new song. Thank you for using your channel points for something silly like this. This song feels like an approximation of like a marching band. Yeah, some drumline shit, Lord Crashing. Yeah, it's invoking drumline marching band. Like, not all of the marching band is playing right now. This is the point where it's mostly drums and a little bit of horns, but like the woodwinds can kind of relax for a little bit, and they'll come in later. Don't you fucking worry about it. We'll hear those flutes later. Not in this song, but later in the performance. I like it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of it's got a fun vibe to it. I was happy with this particular track, and you of course will hear it throughout the month of July, which we are currently in, of course. So tonight's agenda: talk about some stuff, finish the Gundam Aerial full mechanics. Should just say up top, you are noticing it. I am continuing to use the background removal tool from NVIDIA in OBS. And I like it. Will I continue to do this? I don't know. But for now, I can tell you that it's very easy to use, and it works, I think, pretty well. It doesn't love the reflective... I put tape on my headphones. I realized my headphones, it doesn't like my headphones. So I put some tape on it, hoping that the matte black on the tape would make things better, and it hasn't really fixed it. But also when I'm smaller and I'm building, you don't notice it as much. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Right now, let's go to the overhead camera. Boom, overhead camera. Here's the Gundam Aerial. It's big. When you get into the 1/100 scale, which we are in here, and we don't trek in the 1/100 scale that often because without knowing this, in my years of being a model kit builder on stream, I built most of the master grades that are out there because they don't make a lot of master grades these days. They made the Gundam Aerial full mechanics and the Gundam Aerial master grade, and I believe that's it. This kit is thick, Lord Crashington. When you scale up the Gundam Aerial, it does become a bit of a wide friend. And at first I was like, did I not put the legs in properly? No, it's just a wide friend. Yeah, it's just got it's got a thickness to it. But what I was saying from that, what I was trying to say for that is, I built a lot of master grades when I first started. I went back. There's probably a few master grades I haven't built, but those are old and hard to come by. And new master grades just don't come out. Like, we don't have a full mechanics or a master grade of any other Gundam or mobile suit from Witch from Mercury. We don't. We just don't have it. You think the Elfrith, with the Aerial already existing, they'd do an Elfrith, but they haven't. So I don't know. So we haven't built a lot of master grades on here. Most of the master grades we've built in the last couple of years have been, you can't see it, but it is behind me, the heavy arms. I've built some old master grades that had some new parts to it to make them either the manga-inspired kits or the Endless Waltz kits, the reissues of the Endless Waltz kits, which are the year 2012 to 2016 versions of kits from the 90s. So, it is what it is. Anyway, we're working on the weapons because we're body complete on this kit. And now it's time to build the shield. We're going to start with the shield, and then we'll build the gun and put the cool beam saber attachment to the gun on there and just make it look fucking rad as hell. And then if there's time left in the stream, and there might be time left in the stream, I've got some Lego sets to start. So we might even get some started on some Lego. At least we'll start sorting them. I got 2 Lego sets to build. Both came off my Amazon wish list. And I'm putting them together because neither will take that long to build. So let's get together and let's start building the shield here. And while we do that, most of the top of the hour here, we'll talk about some wrestling stuff. But I do have a couple news items here to just get out of the way. In the second hour, we'll talk about anime. And I don't have like anime news. I have a little anime news, but they're about the shows that I'll be talking about. So I'll hold off on that. All right, both of these are the same here. So we'll just get these number 33 out. We'll build these at the same time. So this was shared with me, and I think it was interesting for a number of reasons. But I want to talk to you about a thing that happened at CEO. That is, of course, run by Alex Jabali, AEW's own. He was not signed, but he did make an appearance because of Fyter Fest. Anyway, a thing happened at the Mortal Kombat 1 Grand Finals at CEO 2024. There have apparently been numerous times where people pop off. They are, yes, Star of Die Kick, Jabali, yes. They are so amped. These folks, these competitive gamers who are very good at fighting games. Victory violence is a way that some people put this, because it's not a unique thing to fighting games. This kind of like tension that you have as you're playing a game that is released, and it is not released with all of the adrenaline that has been building up in you that you've been trying to quell, because having adrenaline and playing a game like that is not good. For some people, the defeat is a sudden like crash, but you have this energy because you won, and that energy carries through because you did the thing. And in this case, you did the thing means it's time for a stupid celebration where Dialogue threw a chair into a light fixture that reportedly cost $3,000. Now, apparently this tournament, the prize money for winning this tournament is not a lot of money. It's not, I'll tell you this, folks, it's not $3,000. It's apparently only a couple $100. Let's see. His win overshadowed. Yes. And then Jabali had to be like, hey, if you hey, at this point, I've said this before, stop throwing things. Stop popping off this way. I now have to reiterate that you will be banned if you pop off. Like, he has to be like, hey, just fucking fist pump or whatever you got to do. Bro out with your homies. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Stop throwing shit. But also, apparently, the Dialogue is responsible for paying that. Okay, yes. Okay. The grand prize for each tournament is around $565. There are multiple. This is not a tournament sponsored by a particular company where their one game is the only game that's being played and the pools are so high. This is a CEO has multiple competitions throughout, and the prize money is good, but it's not, certainly not, retire. This is paying for your flight and hotel or whatever. Like, this is not going to change your life. So all of the prize money and around $2,500 of his own money has to go towards replacing the light. And he has said that he will be responsible and pay for it. He is not going to ghost Jabali. And, I mean, we don't know until we know, but he has said that he's not going to ghost it. And then there's this article from thegamer.com does mention that in 2022, Hungrybox threw a chair into the crowd, and then this year he broke a chair. So hey, he didn't throw it into the crowd and almost hurt someone. This year, 2 years later, he's grown, and he just ended up breaking a chair. And a lot of people were like, hey, what the fuck, my dudes? You gotta get healthy. Get it together. Start celebrating healthy. This is ridiculous. So who knows if Jabali will ban anyone from popping off? Will this curb pop-offs? I would say, as someone who is not a competitive gamer, has never won a fighting game tournament, I can't speak to that, but I can say, why don't you bring a pillow? Then you just punch a pillow a couple times. Get it out there. Get it out that way. You know what I mean? Dance a little bit. Shake it off. Cry. Have a wonderful moment of the emotion coming to you, and you just have a primal scream and a good cry. You just let your emotions out that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, Lashbrook, like that is painting them with a broad stroke, but it is also, yeah. I mean, look, it is a competitive, highly competitive scene, and the finals of things do get, there is a lot of trash talk. There is a lot of bravado in these things, but that does not excuse the quote unquote popping off, because the popping off is unnecessary. Popping off goes too far. Then shit gets broken. And as someone that has worked live events for many years, many live events of different capacities and styles and vibes, I can tell you that don't break shit. Please don't break shit. No, don't. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants this. Don't throw things. What are you doing? Don't make a mess. Just be fucking normal and cool. Come on. Yes, as a rental, certainly, but also even if you own the place. The thing is, the people that are doing this do not own the place. They are just, there doing stuff. I'm curious about that. It's not insurance that would cover that. No, Lashbrook. Insurance does not cover damage done by a performer. So, and I don't mean to be an asshole about that. No. So, if an accident takes place, sure. If a insurance covers the audience, and if there is an injury that happens there, insurance covers the performers in case there is an injury there. In the course of playing one of these games, if you hurt your thumb or you sprain your wrist, something, if you, because it's CEO, it's in a wrestling ring, if you fall out of the ring and hurt yourself, there's insurance to cover that. There is insurance to cover damages in the event of a audience member causing a disruption. But the performers who are considered talent, that it does not cover talent damaging property, because insurance, you would not be able to get insurance for an event if you allowed for that. To take it to a little different thing, if wrestlers break chairs in the audience, then the people responsible will have to deal with that. The insurance they got against the venue would not cover that. But if an audience member got hurt falling out of a chair, that'll be taken care of. But yeah, no, that light breaking is the responsibility of the people there. In the same way that a friend of mine had to replace a light that did not cost $3,000 a fixture. This was just a light that cost a couple $100, because he threw a shoe into the audience and he hit a light at a off Broadway production house, and he broke that light, and that light fell and didn't hit anyone, thankfully, but he could have hit someone, and he had to pay damages. And also, the production company that was doing stuff there had to promise that he would never be invited back in that venue. He was banned from that venue. As a performer, he could go as an audience member. That was their concession. That if he wanted to see the production house do things at that venue, he could. But that was the agreement they had to make in order to not have be banned from the venue. Because guess what? Having an affordable venue where you get along with the staff and you can work and your audience is trained to know you perform at and they can go see you there is way more important than one guy who acted like an asshole. And that's the same thing with this, right? I'll say this. I don't know shit. I've met Jabali once at a PAX, and I talked to him for about 5 minutes, and we were talking about Dave Lang. So we did not talk about anything serious. We just talked about our mutual friend, Dave Lang, because Dave hugged me and then went and turned and talked to somebody else. And then Jabali said something to the effect of, "Lang is fucking strong, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, not a lot of people pick me up." And he laughed, and that is the extent of our conversation. But I will tell you this. Alex Jabali cares way more about appeasing a venue than he does about dialogue. Doesn't give a shit about dialogue. Maybe personally, maybe even professionally. But in this case, he does not give a flying fuck about dialogue. He's worried about this venue deciding that it's not worth it to them. And him having to worry about another venue and getting all of his staff and volunteers and whoever excited about a new venue. And nobody fucking wants to do that shit. You do new venues in new towns. You don't do new venues unless you have outgrown the venue you are in. If you have outgrown that venue, then you are looking to expand, then you look for a new venue. But if you have found a venue that you like enough, the staff is not awful. They don't even have to be good. They're just not awful. And people that are there don't fucking hate it, then you stick with that shit as long as you can. And again, until some of those things change. He was already leaving that venue. Excellent. Good. Then, and also, this is a side thing, Lashbrook, of course. When you're appeasing a venue, you are not just appeasing that venue because you want to have a good business relationship with that venue, which you do. Of course you do. You're also doing it because everybody fucking talks in industries like that. And what Alex Jabali does not want to be is a guy that people don't want to do business with. Right? You can get away with like, oh, well, you know that place. You know that owner. And they can go, okay. But you can only do that so many times until venue owners or people who are in charge of booking events and all that go, I don't know, man. A lot of people have fucking talked shit about you. I've been hearing a lot of shit being talked about you and what you're up to. So I don't know. I heard from so-and-so about that. So, it can be tough. It's not necessarily blacklisting. It's just, if the money isn't good. So when you are working with a venue, especially for things that get reported on the internet. Yes. If I Google Alex Jabali CEO, and the first thing that comes up is a dude at one of these events threw a chair and broke a light fixture, I'm like, what the fuck? And when it comes to these kinds of things, right? When it comes to venue rental, right? There are a million different ways to do events, right? There are a million different ways to do all those things. And there are a million ways to have agreements, right? The agreements that benefit a small, lean company would be, okay, well, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars to do this, right? And then you're going to get a cut of the money we're making by doing the event. Oh, that shit rules, right? That shit is good. Now you would say, well, Pat, don't you want to like pay them an amount and then you get all of the amount, you know, all of the stuff you're charging at the door. So then you just like, that's a business expense. And then you know, well, I'm going to be making X amount of dollars after this. This is not the right piece. I took out the wrong piece here, friends. I need A15. That is not A15. I can tell because it is wrong. It's wrong. This is A15. So some people want to just pay up front, right? They want to do the whole thing up front, and then it's like, okay, we're charging X amount of dollars for this, and we'll do that. And there are so many different in-betweens here that I'm not getting into. You can understand that I'm not getting into some of these things that come up here and there. And different ways to approach these kinds of businesses and interactions and all that. You know, they come to the door. There is, we're going to put a deposit on here. There is, hey, we're not going to charge you. We're charging you X amount of dollars, but we make all the money on this event. You know, that's like the worst way to do a thing. That's if you are looking to just put something on and you don't care about making that money. You're just trying to get your foot in the door, get things going. You don't have the cost there. You don't have the money for an insurance. You don't have the money to, you're just trying to get your event started and put it up there. You're never going to work with these people again. So you're just trying to get as much out of it as possible. And if they're making a ton of money off of you, then they won't be assholes about it. They'll be assholes about it, but they might not be as big assholes about what you are trying to do and what you are asking for if they are making way more money than they would with someone else, because that's also very important. And it is a balancing act. It is a nightmare. There's all kinds of things you have to worry about by doing events like this. There are people who are excellent at doing these kinds of things. Yes, best avoid being known for a smoke machine. Yes. If I was going to do, we're not. If I was going to do League of Heels somewhere, my hope would be that people didn't know about the time that we did an event and they had to clear the room out because our smoke machine broke line of sight with an alarm in a hallway, and we had to clear it out, and the fire department had to come and turn the thing off. And it was not the first time they'd ever had to do that, and it was not the last time they would be back at that hotel dealing with different but similar problems. Let's see. Not a lot of... these are just things that you have to kind of understand and do your best to figure out as you go through all of these processes as you do it. But at the end of the day, all of it is a pain in the ass, and all of that happens before you fucking do the event, which is fun, but also a pain in the ass. And all of that is putting out fires and mitigating problems, and you do not want to be known as problem clients, problem renters, of problem event organizers. You want none of that. You want no scandals. You want no drama. You want to have clientele. Your attendees don't have to be awesome, because if they spend money, that's the thing that matters the most. But if you are, let's say that you are known for having attendees who are just awful people, terrible to staff, try to sneak in, break stuff, constantly try to get into areas they're not supposed to be in and cause trouble, and get into fights or cause a ruckus, or do property damage, anything like that. Then it becomes an issue where suddenly you have to be like, okay, well, we don't need that. We don't need any of that heat. And then suddenly you're an event that are in places that are not particularly great, and your audience is like, I hate that venue. Why do we keep going to that venue? And you can't, because you were an organizer. You might be able to get away with it depending on the cult of personality you've created, but you generally can't be like, well, we're here because y'all suck so much that other places, better places, don't fucking want our money. And again, depends on how you feel about your particular audience, if you want to say that shit or not. I miss working on and around and in events. I would never want to be the person at the top of it running those events. I have been very happy to be the guy that helps make those events happen, and would be thrilled to work on that capacity again, on either side of the aisle. But I certainly would never want to be in charge of it. I would never want to found anything or be on the top of the organization chart of any of those events, because that would suck ass. Anyway, the next Crazy Taxi, hey, they're making another Crazy Taxi game, allegedly. And it's going to be a large-scale open-world online game. And, I mean, I guess that it doesn't sound like something I want to play, but it also probably is the right idea. You know what I mean? Like, is it a good idea? I don't know. Will it work? I don't fucking know. Sega's making some swings. They put out a Super Monkey Ball game for the first time in over 10 years. We're going to get another Jet Set Radio, another Shinobi, another Golden Axe, another Streets of Rage, and another Crazy Taxi. Well, not allegedly. They didn't announce it. No, Lashbrook, when I say allegedly, I mean they're allegedly going to release a new Crazy Taxi game. I mean they could not do it. Allegedly, there's going to be a new Crazy Taxi game, is what I'm saying. Allegedly, they're working on it, and they have ideas for it, and it's going to come out. According to Sega, they are doing all of those things. But it is not a matter of fact, because it hasn't come out yet. And maybe that's semantics, but still. They ain't made a game yet. They ain't made it yet. Large-scale online title, open world, massively multiplayer driving game. I don't... Yeah. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. They made a recruitment video trying to get people. I believe this was last year. They put out a recruitment video because they needed a lead game designer for their game last year. So this was in Japan. They were doing that. A reminder, the last Crazy Taxi game that came to a console, original Crazy Taxi or adaptation of an arcade game, was in 2002. So that's also why I say it probably... So they, as of 2023, they hadn't started it yet. So who knows? I could see Jet Set being open world. I feel like Jet Set being... Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think trying to... What do I want to say here? My guess is that they would want to make a game that was open world to encourage people to keep playing it and maybe buy cosmetics or whatever. That would be my guess. Will that be the case? I don't know. But that would be my guess. That they're going to want to try to keep people playing. I don't think there are going to be subscriptions. I don't think there's going to be an MMO per se. But I do think the online element is to hopefully keep people playing their video game. That's my guess. All right, wrestling stuff. Forbidden Door 2024. The Forbidden Door opened a few years ago, and New Japan came around, and you had New Japan wrestlers, some of whom had already appeared in AEW, whatever, and AEW wrestlers. That is expanded now. We had wrestlers from Stardom, which is the sister promotion, currently under the wing of New Japan. They'd always been the same owners, but now they are like under the same direct body of management. And then also this year, they added the wrinkle of wrestlers from CMLL in Mexico. The number of CMLL wrestlers was certainly smaller than others. There were no CMLL titles on the line. There was a CMLL wrestler who's also a New Japan wrestler who defended her New Japan title because to make things more difficult and annoying, New Japan has 2 women's titles. New Japan does not have a women's division, but they have women's titles, and they have women who are, for the most part, contracted with Stardom, and at some points have independent contracts with New Japan per appearance deals that compete. No Stardom belt was on the line, even though Stardom champions were around, but the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, Strong is their American brand, their champion did compete. She's also from CMLL. That's confusing. My apologies if that is too confusing. But basically, 4 companies took to Long Island to have a wrestling show. It was a card of 15 matches between pre-show and show. 10 matches on the main card, 5 matches in the pre-show. Originally scheduled to be 4, but they added a 3-minute squash match between Kyle Fletcher and Serpentico. That match is 3 minutes long. Kyle Fletcher wins. It is just to further his distaste of masked wrestlers because he went to CMLL this week and lost his Ring of Honor belt to Atlantis Jr. And people were like, oh, fuck, okay. So that happened. Was that just a make good? I don't know. I don't know why that happened, but it did happen that way. Anyway, that match was fine and not worth talking about. Kings of the Black Throne. Probably Nyla Rose's favorite wrestler. Oh yes, Nyla Rose always loves when people beat Serpentico. Kings of the Black Throne, which is Malachi Black and Brody King of the House of Black, defeated Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly. And also Roderick Strong, Gabe Kidd, with Gato, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett in their corner, and Private Party, which is Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, by pinfall. This match had 2 people from New Japan, so I thought either Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly or Roderick Strong, Gabe Kidd were going to win because they have Kyle and Roderick and Roddy have beef. There's a whole thing. It's a whole big thing. Gabe Kidd is someone that I think sucks as a wrestler, and I don't like. I don't enjoy him. He's got X-Pac heat with me, but New Japan loves him seemingly. So I thought, well, maybe he'll win. But no, the House of Black, who have nothing going on except they have an upcoming feud with some trios teams because one of their members is out injured, quote unquote. He got married, so they just wrote him off TV, which is great. Congratulations to you, Buddy Matthews, for that. Hey, Meep, welcome. Anyway, Kings of the Black Throne won. That was weird. I did not expect that. I thought maybe one of the teams that had a New Japan wrestler would in it, so that New Japan would have some amount of victories because, spoiler alert, one person from CMLL had a victory tonight, and two people from New Japan had victories. So, not a lot of victories. Mostly AEW, an AEW show where they invite a bunch of people to come from other countries. Willow Nightingale. Oh, sorry. And one Stardom, because there was a Stardom person teaming with an AEW person against a Stardom person teaming with someone from AEW. Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano defeated Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe with Stokely Hathaway at ringside in a pinfall, in a match that wasn't great. It was neither a showcase of incredible talent from Stardom, which would have been nice. It was not that. It was not an incredible showcase of Stardom's wrestlers. And it was mostly setting up Wednesday's match between Willow and Chris. But it didn't really do that either. It was also a good way to have a win for someone from Long Island, because there were two people on the card from Long Island. And it was nice to have one of them win, or well, both of them win, as you might expect. They did have the locals. There are other people from Long Island who were not on the card, but those two people were, and they did win. In one of the best matches of the night, Mariah May, with Timeless Toni Storm and Luther, defeated Saraya to move on in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. It is Saraya's best outing in AEW to date, and that is including the All-In match that she won and became the champion. This was her best match. Does Saraya still have it? No, Saraya does not have it. Saraya took time off from injury and came back, and it's great that she came back, but she did not come back she didn't come back anywhere near where she was, and that's understandable, but that also means that she does not need to be put in prominent positions like, I don't know, a tournament. Losing in the first round of a tournament, that you don't need that. Mariah May is fantastic. It is great to see her showcased. Having Timeless Toni Storm there. I got teary-eyed. And I don't quite know why, but I will tell you the moment that made me tear up. Mariah May came out. She's in Toni Storm gear, because that's part of her gimmick. And then Toni Storm came out to support her. Toni Storm had her hair up in curlers because she was on the main card, baby. She's got to get ready. She comes out in her Stardom track suit, because she's seconding. And folks that have watched my streams, we've seen All Japan matches, we've seen a little bit of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Seconding, that is a very important thing. That is cheering on your friend that is at ringside. You often do not wear your own wrestling gear when you do it, because you are not trying to take focus. Toni Storm wearing the Stardom track suit to be there for her partner made me emotional. Wrestling can still fucking get me. It was good. It was good. And I was happy that moment was there, because I thought that moment was pretty fucking rad. And the match was solid. Lucha Brothers and Mystico. I talked about this on Saturday, how fucking wild that shit is. This match was awesome. Lucha Brothers and Mystico beat Los Ingobernables de Japón. Yota, Titan, and Himuro by submission. That match was great. It was spot fest. It was all over the place, seeing Mystico and the Lucha Bros working together. Penta fucking came out in his goddamn Joker gear. Alex Abrahantes, their hype man, not their manager, their hype man. He came out in his Robin gear, which I forgot he owned, and it's weird. I love that. That match whipped ass. Everybody did great. It was a fantastic showcase of how fucking cool as shit Titan is. Because holy shit, Titan rules. Uh, it was a great match. That match was one of the best matches on the fucking show. It whipped ass. I was jokingly telling people, oh, well, in my mind, that match opened the pay-per-view, and then somehow we had a time warp, and then the match that, okay, no, I need to build these. Oh, I need to do two of those. This is a wrong piece. I need this later. That match somehow was the main card, and then we went back to the pre-show for the next one, which we'll get to in a second. Anyway, that match whipped ass. It was very cool. It looks like at some point in the future, Penta is going to show up for a CMLL match, which is truly wild, and work against Mystico. Also, Chris Jericho is going to fight Mystico at some point in CMLL, and I know that you, as a most likely American viewer, you as a Western English-speaking country viewer of wrestling, you go, oh, Jericho's going to show up in CMLL. But I must tell you, that is one of the reasons why the partnership between AEW and CMLL exists. One of the reasons they are doing this shit at all, ever, is to get Chris Jericho to come, because Chris Jericho made a name for himself in ECW and then WCW, but he made a name for himself in Mexico in CMLL. Lionheart, Chris Jericho. That is his claim to fame. That is where he broke into wrestling. That is how people of certain generation of wrestling fan, that is the person they think of. So it is, turns out it's a bit of a big fucking deal that Chris Jericho is going to be there. All right, so I need 25 and 32. I need B25 over here. And then I need, that's B25, and then I need B26. I don't remember which one that is because I pulled it out wrong. It's this one, okay. And then B23, or sorry, that's B23 and B24. Okay, great. All right, I'm figuring this out. Sorry, everybody. Main card. MJF defeated Hechicero. Sorry, I get that. I don't do great with that name. Hechicero. In a match that happened that was not the match anybody really wanted, other than folks on Long Island really wanted an MJF match. That's why you do this match, is because MJF is over as fuck. So you have him on your card because he is a hometown boy. And so you got to have him on the card. The match with Roosh was the match that was supposed to be in this spot, but Roosh has real, legitimate, understandable heat with CMLL, and they were like, no fucking way is he going to be on that card. Please don't do this. So that he wasn't on the card. And they don't particularly care about Hechicero. He is a mid-carder guy. He can eat a loss, and it's fine. He's over. He's doing well here. But, yeah. That match was fine. It was never going to be good. It probably could have been on the pre-show. But, it wasn't. So it is what it is, because it wasn't on the pre-show. It went first, and it was fine. The Elite. Earlier on than I would have expected. The Elite, Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, and Okada, defeated the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace, a.k.a. Scissor Ace, by pinfall. Okada pinned Tanahashi. I was convinced. I was convinced the Elite are going to win, because the Elite should be winning matches like this. They are the big bads of the company. They should continue to win matches. They should do whatever they need to do to cheat to win. I definitely think that was the right call. I thought for sure that Max Caster was going to get fucking pinned. But no, it was Tanahashi getting pinned by Okada. And that surprised me. Tanahashi is not the man he used to be. I still think he is doing a fantastic job as the president of New Japan. And this was high profile, but not too high profile, and I think that was fine. And I think he did a good job. This match was whatever. They should not have let Max Caster do an extended rap. Max Caster is supposed to be the babyface. He is in the group that are trying to take down the evil EVPs. Why is he such a fucking piece of shit if he's supposed to be the face? I shouldn't be happy when his raps get cut off, but I am. I'm so happy when his raps get cut off. Yes, Bowen's singles run. Bowens cannot save this shit. It is time for Bowens to be a pretty okay singles competitor, because the thing with Bowens is he is incredibly charming and incredibly likable and pretty good at wrestling. Max Caster is the better wrestler of the two, but Max has so much goddamn baggage that is self-inflicted that it's like, I don't fucking want to see him anymore. But Bowens is fine. He's just not exceptional. Bryan Danielson defeated Shingo Takagi in a submission match, literally 20-minute match in the men's Owen Hart. That means that on Wednesday, Bryan Danielson will fucking take on Pac in a match that I would like to see Bryan Danielson fucking lose. Because I want to live in a world where Pac main events... Not going to. But what if Pac main evented All In? He's not going to. But what if he fucking did? He won't. But what if he did and he defeated Bryan Danielson on the way? Bryan's probably going to lose in the finals. I don't think Bryan's going to win. I think Bryan's going to lose in the finals. But this match fucking whipped ass. God damn. Fucking holy shit. Yeah, Bryan Danielson, Shingo Takagi, pretty good fucking wrestlers. Bryan did do another goddamn neck spot. Motherfucker. You just need to cut that shit out. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing this thing where you pretend like you might be paralyzed and you might need to quit wrestling every fucking big match, you motherfucker. Stop doing that shit. I hate it. You saw some people become Shingo Takagi fans that night. I mean, he whips ass. He's so fucking cool. That was some good shit. And he brought his fucking A game too. He brought the A game. They both brought out a lot of each other. It was really fucking fun to watch. It was one of my favorite matches of the night. It wasn't my favorite match of the night, but it was one of my favorite matches of the night. Moving on, Timeless Toni Storm defeated Mina Shirakawa by pinfall. Mariah May was in the corner for both of them. They left. Mariah at the end was like, shake hands. They shook hands with a nice competitive spirit. And then she wanted them to kiss. And then they did a thing where they were like, we're not going to kiss each other. Why would I kiss each other? Oh, we're not going to kiss her. And then the thing where they both like got psyched up and then were like, fine. And there was like an angry energy amidst it. And they all left together. And then it was heavily implied by a short interview that the three of them went off to fuck each other. And that's how Pride ended in AEW. The month of Pride, not Pride in general. The month of June, aka Pride Month, ended for AEW with Toni Storm, who is bisexual in real life, leaving the arena with her protege that dresses like her, and her protege's ex-girlfriend, not ex-girlfriend, whatever, former tag team partner, presumably for the three of them to fuck each other. Wrestling is the best. Yes, there's a stardom there. Yes, good way to end Pride. Yes, it's just a good end to Pride. To be like, yeah, of course they're gonna go fuck each other. They're all hot and weird. Have a good time. Anyway, the match was also really good. Toni Storm gets accused of being all character and not enough wrestler these days, and I don't agree with that. I think that Toni Storm, maybe when she was at some point trying to figure out how to wrestle as the character of Timeless Toni Storm. I think she found that out quite a while ago, but people weren't on board to follow along with it, and I think they fucking got on board. They have gotten on board, and I think they are right to do so. Okay, this needs to go. This says click, but I didn't hear a click when I put it in, but whatever. Anyway, match was really solid. They're both great. It was an excellent showcase from Mina. My favorite match of the night. It's hard because the main event whipped ass too. The main event was really good. But my favorite match of the night was Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Orange Cassidy by submission. Zack Sabre Jr. countered the mousetrap, a move that a pinning predicament that Orange Cassidy in AEW has never lost with. Now, does he end every match with it? No, but he's never lost with the mousetrap before. But the master of submission wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr., did it. He did it. That match kicked so much fucking ass. It was 16 minutes. I wish it had been 20. Had a lot of fire, incredible back and forth, awesome escapes. It had Zack Sabre Jr. playing mind games, Zack Sabre Jr. falling for mind games. It was a great back and forth. Orange Cassidy needed to lose that one because he is in his, well, I have some friends, but one of my friends lives in Japan and is never here, and I'm trying to see if these other guys are my friends, none of whom, Mark was in the next match, so I get it. But where was Kyle? Kyle O'Reilly, not in his corner. Could have been in Orange's corner. Wasn't in Orange's corner. It was good shit. I thought it was a fucking fantastic match. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata defeated the Learning Tree of Chris Jericho and Big Bill and Jeff Cobb because Brian Keith is either legitimately injured and he's taking bumps while being injured, storyline injured, and he went so far as to kayfabe, drop a title in DPW, which he might have been doing anyway, but that's weird, or he was supposed to pretend to be injured so that they could bring in Jeff Cobb in the match. And then, because they're going to set up a Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe match in the future, I assume. But then also actually got injured. And I don't know. I don't know the story behind that. All I know is if he's really injured, he took a lot of fucking bumps since he got injured. And it was weird. But anyway. So this match was fine. Chris Jericho can't keep up with young guys or conditioned guys anymore. His moonsault still looks like he is hurting himself and his opponent. But none of that fucking matters. Because Hook pinned Jericho with the Judas effect, which is Jericho's elbow, a whirling elbow finisher that never looks that good. Like it's like a spinning back elbow because Jericho has equilibrium problems, but Hook did it and Hook made it look good. Hook usually wins by submission. Hook winning by pinfall is wild. Hook winning with Jericho's move is wild. Hook winning with Jericho's move on Jericho is bizarre. That was some cool shit. That was a cool moment in the match. And that match was fun. That match was wild and weird and maybe didn't need to be on the show, but it was cool as hell. And Jeff Cobb, I want Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe. Please, please, please give that to me. It'd be so good. Jack Perry defeated Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo in a ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. This is the right move. The Elite should have gold. Every member of the Elite has gold right now. If they are the big asshole bosses of the company, they should be having belts. That makes so much fucking sense for them to have all of those belts. Those goddamn fucking pieces of shit. This match freaked me out constantly because I was like, how is Dante Martin okay? They also did a thing where Dante Martin sold that his leg was fucked up, which is rude because he broke his fucking foot in the last time he was in a ladder match. He severely injured himself, so they made it a fucking thing where it looked like, did he do it again? And it's like, go fuck yourself. Goddamn, you goddamn marks for your own bullshit. Anyway, he's okay. Apparently he is okay. But I definitely was wondering what the fuck just happened there. Anyway, that match was wild and crazy and bizarre and cool as hell. Jack Perry won by basically being smarter than other people and being shitty, and I love that for him. I can't get this piece to connect. There it is. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, this should be down here. This should be like this. That doesn't line up right. So, like, did I do this wrong? Now I have to go back and see if I made this wrong. Okay, this is this side. So then on this side, I think I assembled this incorrectly. Yeah, I think I assembled this wrong. So let's see if I can figure out how to take this apart without breaking anything. Anyway, that match was fine. Following it, unfortunately, for them, because it took a long time for the crowd to get into anything, was Mercedes Moné defeated Stephanie Vaquer for the AEW TBS Championship, which she was already the champion of. It was title versus title, and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Not any of the CML, both CML belts that Stephanie holds. Or she holds she holds several belts, but only one of them was on the line, which was the New Japan one. So Lashbrook, I will say this: the crowd was dead because they just watched a huge spot fest of the only gimmick match on the pay-per-view. This pay-per-view only had one gimmick. Everything else was just tags or singles. So the big stunt on a match stole the wind out of people's sails. And then also, there's a lot going wrong here. One, Mercedes Moné is a heel, but she's a babyface because Stephanie is a heel. It was heel versus heel. Now, you could say Mercedes isn't a heel, she's a babyface, but she acted like a heel to win that belt against Willow and then didn't do anything to change how she is, to suddenly be like remorseful or regretful or like anything. She just kept being Mercedes. So it's not like she suddenly was a different person. And Stephanie is not well known, so which is fine. It took a little while for them to ramp up, but then the match did start picking up. The things picked up, and we did start seeing some cool shit out of them. And then, yeah, the crowd, because they are a Long Island crowd and a New York crowd, decided they were going to talk about how much they hate Boston, which, of course, Mercedes is from. So they started cheering for Stephanie, who is not a New Yorker. She's from Chile, but she wasn't from fucking Boston. So yes, the crowd did go. They did go in for themselves, but they woke up that way at least. My larger thing about the Long Island crowd, because this is not the first time there has been a pay-per-view in Long Island. It's a weird fucking crowd because A lot of that, so there are diehards, right? There are definitely diehards. There are diehard wrestling fans in the arena there. But it's hard to go to see a show there on a Sunday. Going to Long Island from another borough on a Sunday is a fucking pain in the ass because that shit's not, you're not getting out of there until after midnight. And then you have to get back to Manhattan from Long Island. And it's going to suck ass. That's going to be a nightmare because it's a Sunday night in the summer and all public transportation is going to be bullshit. And you're going to have a hard fucking time getting out of there. And then you're going to trying to get to where you need to go. It's just going to take hours and hours and hours. And if you live on Long Island, you have money, mostly. Not everyone. I'll tell you this. Everyone I knew who grew up on Long Island, their parents had a pool. And not an above ground pool, an in-ground pool. They had the rich people's pools. I took this all... Okay, no, I got it. All right. I disassembled this, and now I did get it together. Okay, the shield is now done. That took forever. Anyway, that match was fine. Eventually, the crowd did get into it. I thought the crowd was good eventually. It took a very long time to get into it. Also, I think the crowd was a little dead because they were like, Mercedes is just going to win. Like, what are we doing here? Speaking of winners, Tetsuya Naito defeated Jon Moxley to regain his IWGP championship. Moxley was the champion going in. He was champion of their country. It was not super well received in Japan, him as champion. And I will say this. I have not said this on a stream. I have talked about this in person, but I've not yet said it on a stream. I don't like this version of Jon Moxley. I don't like shooter MMA Jon Moxley. He's a great fucking wrestler. Why is he not wrestling? I think the BCC has been very good for Claudio Castagnoli, has been incredibly good for Wheeler Yuta, has been a fun thing for Daniel Bryan, and has robbed us of the good version of Jon Moxley. And it's a goddamn shame. I don't like this version of Moxley. I want to see him be a wrestler and not a brawler because I just don't find it interesting. And then also, Tetsuya Naito is not phoning it in. He is just old and tired. And he is not the Naito that people remember. So I don't think he phoned it in for the show because he was winning. He took his shirt off. You know, he was going to try. But I also just think that he is old and just not in a good spot anymore. And that sucks. That fucking sucks. That Naito is not in a good spot. To be clear. I don't like saying that. I don't like to believe that, but I do believe that. In the main event, we'll just get through this, and then we'll take a pause for the cause, and we'll come back, finish this up, and then we'll start a little bit of Lego nonsense. Swerve Strickland defeated Will Ospreay in a match that was under half an hour. Really fucking good. Those two guys work incredibly well together. Surprise, surprise. Don Callis tried to interfere, but Will did not want that to happen, which led to his loss. There were a lot of near misses. There were definitely a moment where I was like, that might have been a 3. Same thing in the Naito and Jon Moxley match. But the most important thing about that match that I want to mention is that Will Ospreay did a Styles Clash, and apparently, because you could watch the pay-per-view with Japanese commentary on New Japan World, the Japanese commentators on New Japan World lost their goddamn fucking minds. They completely lost their shit when he did a fucking Styles Clash. It's awesome. They lost their shit, and then they got hushed tones. So it was like, and they were like, basically translative, that was a Styles Clash. I can't believe he did a Styles Clash. Like, it was like, they were like shocked. It was such a good fucking sell of that shit. Really good. Really awesome. That match whipped ass. Now is the part of the stream. Boom, boom. where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you about is completely optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you would like to, I would love it. Again, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote, if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, into the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You could do that. Either of those would be great. I would love that. You could gift a sub. You could be the top of the gift sub leaderboard with just one gifted sub if you want to do that. Also, bits and coins are always appreciated. So if you want to join the cheer leaderboard, you could do that as well. With just a little bit of a cheer, you could join that. So if you want to be on the top of the leaderboard, now is the best time to get in on that shit if that's the thing you want to do. Now, I mentioned Twitch because that's the easiest way to support me. But there are other ways. If you want to get weird with it, you can get weird with it. Like you can go and join my Patreon. It's the first day of the month. It's a great day to join the Patreon at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on patreon.com/PatBear today if you wanted to. That's an alternative. Some people do both, which is wild, and I love that. But you could just do one or the other, or neither. You could also do neither. But if you wanted to, you can jump in on my Patreon. You can also hop over to my YouTube channel. youtube.com/PatBear is the YouTube address. Hop over to my my YouTube. Subscribing is free. Becoming a member is something you could do for just $2 a month. And then you get my Wednesday videos a day early, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow you will find out what show I'm talking about, the first show of my favorite shows of 2024 spring season. You could check that out. I just recorded one about a great show. You can check that video out there. And that again, that goes up on Wednesday for everybody, but you can watch it on Tuesday. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you want to do a one-time donation to my Ko-Fi or just directly to PayPal, you could do that if you would like. You're more than welcome to do that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. I bought this Gundam Aerial because I had a couple great months here on this site, and I was able to buy a kit that whips ass, that was expensive. It was on sale for a good price, and I had the funds to do it, so I did it. If you want to put your money where your mouth is and you want to buy something for me to build on stream, you can do that as well. The next things I'm going to be building are 2 Lego sets and a model kit that I got off my Amazon wish list for my birthday. And I got a wish list here. It's past my birthday now, but maybe you still want to buy something for me to build. You could. I've got Lego sets. I got model kits. I got inexpensive kits. I got expensive kits. All kinds of things on there. Take a look, see if there's something there you'd like to see me build. And that will be great. You got Amazon Prime shipping, free shipping for just Prime members, all kinds of different stuff. I try to keep it in price order from lowest to most expensive. There's some gear at the bottom. If you want to help me out with production stuff, you could do that as well. All that, of course, is optional. I'm not expecting people to buy things from my wish list, but I make it available. Like I said, some people, I got a model kit and a couple Lego sets to build that came from my wish list, and then I'll get back to my backlog of cool, fun shit. Let's see. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I have a Throne wish list. Go check that out if you'd like. And then, of course, you can always go to USA Gundam Store to buy a gift card. They send you an email with the gift card code. You take that gift card code, and then you whisper me on Twitch, or you DM me on Twitter, or you message me on Mastodon, or on or on Blue Sky. You could do that anytime you want. I'm gonna drink a little water. But if you want to do that, you could. That's the most convoluted way to support me. If you want to support me without spending any money, I got a Discord. You could join that Discord if you wanted to. Fine folks post stuff they're working on in there. I post build photos at the end of every stream. It is a nice, cool little place. A fun little community on Discord. You're welcome to join us there. Couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is my spring wrap-up and summer preview. The summer season has started. I have watched 0 new shows. I'm going to watch some. For Thursday, I will have a couple shows to talk about. I don't have anything at the moment, but I am going to start watching some shows so I can talk to you about them there. So get psyched for that shit. But yeah, I got a couple things to watch, but I previewed the season that we just started. And then if you missed out on last season, you want to know what my favorite shows were, you can go check that out. Kuma Baer is my ongoing video series where every week I recommend an anime. Every month is a different theme. June, which we're just wrapping up, June's month was about mecha series. And I talked about Star Driver, which is a hidden gem. Not a lot of people talk about Star Driver. Great vibes, killer music, good little story, excellent mech stuff in there. It is a fun mecha series with a strong shonen vibes. All right. That is all my plugs. I am going to talk about some anime that I watched, finishing up some shows, and then I will talk about some games and things like that. Before I do that, I'm going to take a nice longer drink of water, and we're going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera right now. All right. I'm going to talk about some anime while I pan-align this gun, and then we will wrap up this build. John wants me to hit the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points on something silly like that, because we do have new dance music I did at the top of the stream. I don't mind doing it again. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Yeah. As we said, this is some drumline shit. This is some marching bands in between songs where the horns are going and the woodwinds can take a break, where it is just, yeah, it's just a couple horns and the drums going nuts. That's a fun one. I look forward to playing that a whole lot this month of July. No problem, John. I don't mind if people ask me to do the dance button again and again. I'm fine with that. Occasionally, people hit the dance button when I am in the middle of something that I want to talk about, and that is poor timing, but also there is a stream delay. So, like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes there's a bit of delay there, and people don't expect that. There was one time where I was, like, really bad about a thing. I can't remember what it was, but I was mad. I was ranting about some shit, and then somebody hit the dance button. I was like, no. Oh, yeah, I think a few times 2 or 3 of us hit the dance button at the same time. Well, there was one time where someone hit the dance button because it was the beginning of the month. Someone hit the dance button. I did the dance thing. I talked about it. Thank you for the follow, Dodo. Appreciate that. I hit the dance button. Someone, talked about it. And then like 5 minutes later, someone came in and hit the dance button. And I was like, no, I know you're here, but no, I just did that. But yes, welcome. All right, we're going to talk about some anime while I take a photo of this excellent kit. Is there anything else left to build with this kit? Oh, I guess we can. Oh yeah, there's the way to put this gun on the back, and we can take a photo with the gun here, and then I can take a photo with the beam saber. Oh, and then also if I want to take all the bits and stuff off here, we can do that, and we can take the parts of the shield off and put it on there. But I'm not going to bother with that because I don't think we need to. But let's see if I can get this gun with its beam on while I start talking to you about Kaiju number 8, episode 12 of 12 of season 1 of Kaiju number 8. I'll tell you right now, there is a sequel announced immediately after episode 12. They said, hey, there's going to be more Kaiju number 8. And people were like, fuck yeah, there is. When is that? We don't know. I don't think it's going to come out this year. I imagine it'll be next year. We know Windbreaker said 2025, so we know that's next year. but they have not said when the other version of this is going to come out, or season 2 is going to come out of Kaiju number 8. But this was an excellent season of a show, and so I look forward to seeing more of it. This gun, come on there. Okay, damn it, doesn't go in great. Let me take the hand off here. Let's try to get this. Try to get this on right. Come on. But yeah, Kafka's story continues. So, you may remember that episode 11, we were dealing with the fact that everyone now knows that Kafka is part monster. Kikuro's father, who is in charge, is testing our boy, and the monster inside of him, the real Kaiju number 8, the little monster that he swallowed that turned him into the person he is now, is basically taking over his big Kaiju body in an attempt to kill, to survive, because he thinks his life is being threatened. He also wants our guy Kafka to become a fully monster, to give in, and all of that, internal bullshit that's happening that sucks for our guy. Let me get some photos in here before we move on to some Lego. So we start with Reno and Haru basically being like, Reno's like, I think he's going to be okay. I have to believe he's coming back. When he does come back, I'm going to be even stronger so I can help protect him. Good friendship bullshit. They find out that today the higher-ups are going to figure this out. The council is going to meet, and they're going to decide what happens to our boy. So that's coming today. And okay, can I pose this big weapon? If I put this on display, I don't think I'm going to do the gun display. I'm going to do the other hand. Although the beam gun fucking rules, so I'm going to just leave that next to it when we do the one beam saber. We'll do one beam saber on here. I believe this will go on display. I haven't just quite decided yet, but I believe so. So Mina is in a conference room. She's watching what happens here. This fight that happens. This is all flashback stuff. Mina is watching this. She is not there while it happens because she would step in, but she is instead just watching and kind of waiting for what's going to happen there. The actual Kaiju number 8 has control of Kafka's body. Kafka is trying to reason with it and calm it down. He's still fighting against Isao. And apparently, so Kikuro, who is watching this whole thing, is basically like, hey, immediately, things are getting out of hand now, but immediately this could have been over. Isao was testing Kafka and could have at any time finished this and just killed him, but chose to test him instead. We go back to other characters on the rooftop. Io talking about how he never expected to be saved by Kafka. He joined the defense force to save lives. Haruchi is like, definitely, it's good to show like, hey, at least one person is like, I don't love the idea that this dude is part monster. Or all monster. Like, I'm happy there is at least somebody around being like, I don't love this. This is weird. Because I think that is an important element of this thing. Oops, is that? Yep. I think it is important to have somebody be like, hey, I think this seems weird. I am going to put the connector here. I have not built the stand, the base that this is going to go on. Because I have to build a nice base for this one, but I can put the stand piece on, or stand connector piece on that comes with. So now I can put it on a base. You can see there's now a plug there for that. But if I do display this, I'm going to do it with the beam saber because it just fucking looks cooler. And also it's sturdy. The hand can't really keep up with that. But yeah, we built the shields. We built this. Everything is together and looks rad. My final thoughts on this kit. Holy shit, this kit whips ass. God damn. Fuck. This kit rules. It is a great build. It looks so awesome. I was so happy to work on it. And then the rest of the stream, we are going to spend some time getting our Super Mario Brother Lego set together here. Yoshi, this is a Yoshi set. This is the first time I'm working on a Super Mario Brothers kit because they're all very expensive. So we're just going to get this kind of set up here. I could do, this can go, wait, great. So we're just going to get this set up and kind of null for the rest of the stream. And then Thursday's stream will be properly working on this. I want to give a shout out to Caleb. Thank you, Caleb. I did not see the C-3PO pre-order, John. I try not to look at that stuff. I try not to look at very big, expensive Lego things. Yes, Lord Crashington, this is an expansion set. These are all expansions. That's why it is reasonably priced, because it is one of things. It is supposed to be part of many things. There's like, you're basically doing these Super Mario World slash, Super Mario Brothers 3 kind of thing, and you buy a bunch of these small ones and then interconnect them. So yeah, it is a pretty small little set. Mario not included. Yeah, Lashbrook, I haven't engaged with that at all, because I don't look at very expensive. I don't look at very expensive Lego sets that I'm never gonna build. So I try not to look at them. This, for some reason, has 3 bags, and it does not need to have 3 bags. This is such a small build. I understand that this is, aimed maybe at children, but it does not need to have, you can scan the QR code. It does not need to have 3 bags, but we'll open all the bags here. So in our fight here, basically Kikaru is basically like, okay, I want to protect this guy. I want to protect his secret, but Kafka asked me that if he became a monster, that I would take him down. So I might have to do that. So she is kind of mentally preparing herself to maybe having to kill her friend, and somewhat rival. Inside in this, not real space, Kafka is having issues. He's trying to weasel control of his own body away from Kaiju number 8, but he gets swallowed by a representation of Kaiju number 8, and basically, seemingly loses the fight and the will to continue. Shit is not looking good for our guy. I'm just separating by color here, and then we'll do a little bit more of that separation. And do some knolling and prep ourselves for a quick little build. And then we'll get a little bit probably of that started. But we're mostly just separating by color here and then doing some knolling to make our life easier. Thursday stream will be Lego of various kinds. And then probably also starting a model kit after that, because neither of these builds are going to take too long. So inside of the Kaiju, in his own weird mental state, Kafka has a moment where he has a vision of Mina, his childhood friend, and Mina tells him that she's waiting for him, which allows him to take control of his body again, and say that, hey, I'm Kafka, I'm not number 8. And he even attacks himself. He damages his own body in order to prove that he's in control, or at least show that he's in control. And he does not kill Kikaru's dad, so that's good. Someone goes to kill him, and Isao's like, no, don't. We're going to figure this out. And finds out that Kaiju number 8's core. The core of it is damaged. So everyone is kind of freaked out about that. Mina tells people that don't know this, yes, I knew this dude before all of this. We have a history, but I never gave him any special treatment. He earned his spot. And that the experts are going to figure out if he's still human or not. But she's being interviewed, and they're like, "Hey, this interview is just for formality. We're not really going to listen to what you have to say." But she's still like, "Hey, this dude like has failed, but also succeeded. He's saved some people's lives. He's great on the team. He's a good Defense Force person, and that he has a huge heart." And then Kafka is recovering, and he is, and he is thinking to himself that he would rather die as a human if he truly is becoming a monster, and he won't be able to keep that separate. That he would prefer to die than have that happen. Okay, so we need this color pink here. A lot of people there's disagreements about, is this even worth doing? Shouldn't we just take parts off of him to make weapons? It's argued that he's more valuable alive as a member of the Force than he is as parts, because there are reasons for that, but they don't really elaborate on. But basically they're like, nah, he's probably better off for us if he's alive and working for us. And Isao is convinced. He shares some evidence that that he would be a good member of the Force, and we should keep him there. Kafka learns that they basically consider him a weapon, which he does not love. And everyone finds out that things are going to be okay. They have to keep it a secret, and who knows how long that'll last, but because the general public or even other divisions of the Defense Force would probably be rightfully freaked out if they found that out. But he's alive. He has passed these interrogations and these trials, and seemingly for now, everything is okay. Also, don't forget that there's a guy that is a monster who has the form of a human named Kaiju number 9. He has been posing as a cleanup crew person, and he is learning about, he is trying to gain intelligence by playing chess against humans and getting the upper hand there, because he is convinced that will give him the upper hand in this fight. And also, he very much wants to rescue, kind of. He wants to get our guy Kafka number 8 because he belongs to them, and they're almost ready for the next phase. Dun dun dun. And that'll be next season, which is at some point. Overall, Kaiju number 8 fucking whips ass. God damn, that's a great goddamn anime. This is a great shonen. Action scenes are fantastic. Did I want to see another conversation between Mina and Kafka? Yes. I did like how we got a little bit more of their backstory in that it's not just about standing by her side. It's destroying the kaiju that ruined her life. And you can probably make some guesses about like what the kaiju did to ruin all young girl's life. But basically that is his major thing, is not just being strong enough to stand by her side. It's also ridding the world of the monsters that, to make her life better. Which makes a lot of sense now that there's a little bit more information about that. But yeah, I would have liked another conversation between the two of them. We did get a short one, which was nice. This show is great. I look forward to more of it. If you did not check out Kaiju number 8, I would recommend it. It's a great show. And now, I must tell you about Whisper Me a Love Song, episode 10. You may remember there were 2 weeks off of this show, and then this episode got delayed. Well, it came out, and then after this episode came out, they were like, actually, episodes 11 and 12 are on indefinite hiatus. That's right. They pulled a Zom 100, and we're like, yeah, we don't know when episodes, we don't know. Most likely because the studio has to work on these shows and can't keep working on that. But yeah, no clue, no given timetable on when, if and when episodes 11 and 12 will come out. One would assume they would, because otherwise they can't put out the Blu-ray for local release in Japan without all the episodes. So at some point they are going to finish them. Will there be any fanfare? Will High Dive put them up? High Dive will probably put them up, but who knows? They might not put them up. It's a real shame. Also because it was going to be one of the shows it is a show I liked very much this season. It was going to join my like 5 favorite shows of the season. And it can't because it didn't finish. So I'm definitely not going to recommend people watch a show where there's not enough. Also, if you don't like Shio, this episode fucking blows. Because this episode is all about the rival and why she is the way she is and why she doesn't like a character, which we kind of guessed, but now we get confirmation. And it explains why a character who has been talked about a bunch, we never see in the show. It was kind of hinted that something had happened to her, but now we find out more. That's right, we got flashbacks about a dead friend. This episode is fucking heavy in some ways. And it is very much not necessarily about the characters that we know and appreciate. It is mostly about the villain of the piece, Shiho. So there's a flashback. This episode starts with a flashback that is wholly unnecessary, but sure, got a little bit of a flashback with our main so Kyo was the girl that Shiho was in competition with in her younger days, and then eventually was like, I'm gonna learn guitar to spite you because you died. We find out that girl is the older sister of one of the girls in Lorelei, the band that she joins. Also, there's a moment here where we learn a little bit of that, and then we cut to Yori has produced a song for SS Girls, because this is ostensibly a show about music, but it's mostly about girls who play music. But they're working on the song for the summer festival. They like it. They're thinking about costumes. And then Shiho is explaining to Himari, who asked her about how Lorelei was founded, because she's been asked to basically be their manager for this event. There's a funeral. Momoko and Shiho are attending the funeral. Momoko was Kyo's girlfriend, and so we have another character that is canonically queer in the show, which we didn't know, but we were assuming that she was. But yes, they were dating. There's a long talk with a lot of people. There's a lot of flashbacks. Members of that band are trying to convince Shiho that Kyo, her rival, was happy that Shiho played guitar. There's a lot of anger and resentment. They're like, hey, we want to come see you and your band. We're so happy that you keep playing music. That band was, of course, SS Girls. She's like, I quit that band. And then they convince her to start a new band, or like, well, you start a band with me, which is why Lorelai formed. Yeah, there's a lot of heartbreak here. Uh, there's a whole thing about how Kyo only played music that people wanted to hear for judges. She didn't have any soul. She didn't have a passion for music the way that Shiho did. It's all very melodramatic and interesting, but like a lot. So Shiho, basically the band Lorelai exists because Shiho was like, if I'm going to keep doing music, you have to be in a band with me. And so the band is there simply because of one girl's older sister and another girl's friend passed away. And they want to honor that friend by having her rival keep making music. It's fucking complicated, but you know, a lot of this shit can be. The real thing that we find out, this is the thing that is the most of the episode, and I'm just going to talk about it here, and then we'll, because there's a lot of flashbacks, and there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of self-reflection. There's very little with our main characters. Why does she hate Yori? Why does Shiho so mad at Yori? Because Yori has nothing to do with SS Girls before she quit, and she doesn't know what's going on. Well, here's the deal. She was in SS Girls. Shiho was in SS Girls with Aki, and she fell in love with Aki. It was love at first sight. She was immediately enamored with Aki. That's the girl she had a crush on, and she was getting ready to tell Aki how she felt. And then she saw Aki and Yori together. And she saw that Aki clearly had feelings for Yori. And she felt jealous and hurt and brokenhearted, and that's why she quit the band, and that's why she doesn't like Yori. Yori, who does not know her friend Aki has feelings for her, and also Aki does not know that Shiho has feelings for her. That's the whole fucking thing of it. The whole series, other than the fact that Himari wants, is dating Yori, all of this is because a girl had a crush on another girl and was mad and upset that the girl she had a crush on has a crush on someone else. That's the big reveal. And that's like their summer break, apparently, was all of this stuff. So Himari is torn because she wants to help. She wants to bring people together. She'd like to get everybody on the same page. And also there's a concert coming up and they have to prepare to get into this summer festival. They need to perform well. So it's everybody buckling down. And ostensibly, the next 2 episodes will be about that. I don't know all the details. I don't know when we're getting episodes 11 and 12. This show is now on hiatus. I thought this was a good episode. I don't fucking really care about Shiho, but it was dramatic in a way that I thought was pretty cool, and it was interesting to learn more about these characters. But also, hey, there's probably a good reason this episode was slightly delayed, and the next 2 episodes are not coming out anytime soon. We don't know when they're going to come out. Is because this show is struggling. They were just clearly overwhelmed. I don't know what production issues were happening, but sometimes this episode looked really fucking bad. And with the looming musical performances coming up, I kind of don't hate that they cut their fucking losses on this one. And hopefully they'll get 11 and 12 done. I just don't know when that's going to be. Overall, this is the real gay shit from the spring season. It was good. I hope they finish it. I don't know if they'll ever get to. Now is the part of the stream while I continue to finish this this Yoshi. But while I am finishing this lovely pink Yoshi, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? GDQ is happening. Summer Games Done Quick, I should say. SGDQ is happening, and I have been watching some of it. I watched some of it today. I didn't watch any of it live because of wrestling and shenanigans, so I didn't get to any of it live. But I did watch some of it on their YouTube, and so I will recommend a few things from their YouTube that I saw that I really liked. I am behind. I have not watched everything. I have a playlist of stuff, and I look forward to watching more of that. Yeah, I didn't see the Balatro run yet. I will see the Balatro run. I just haven't. That is one I'm earmarking myself to watch. But while you tell me what you're up to, I can let you know some stuff that's going on with me, or what I have been watching there, because I watched a few. These are my recommendations. All the ones I'm mentioning here are all on the GDQ YouTube. Mega Man 9 by Slurpee Ninja in 41 minutes and 3 seconds, and it was Buster only because of a donations incentive. They had made enough money to do Busters only, or Buster Gun only, and I thought that made it super fucking cool that it was Buster only, because it means the order doesn't matter, because you're not optimizing the run for, well, you get this and you get this and you get this, you can't do this until you get that and all that. No, it's Buster only, so you can just do whatever. So he was kind of just like, all right, what do I do next? The couch was really good. I wish there was more explanations about strats, because when I say the couch was good, I don't mean they were really informative. I mean they were really entertaining, and they really seemed to like each other. So that was really fun. After Image, a game I've never fucking heard of, but was pretty super cool, I would say. Super cool. It was pretty great. After Image in 51 minutes, 55 seconds by Karushi Drive. That is a 2D platformer that looks fucking great. I believe that is a Chinese indie developer. And holy shit, they did a really good job, because that game has style. It looks so cool. The couch friend was not super familiar with the game. She basically learned the game to be on the couch, but the person, Karushi Drive, has just like a really nice voice. It was just a very chill run to watch, because he has a great voice, and it was just like a good time hanging out there, and the game looks really neat. Live Alive by Bram Hall V in just 49 minutes, just about 49 minutes. Holy shit, that ruled. The 0 kills donation was met, so it was a pacifist run. The remake looks really fucking good. The couch was really excited about it. They had a good time doing it. I have not seen a lot of it. John says it took me way longer than 49 minutes to finish Live Alive. Yeah, and I'm sure you didn't do a pacifist run either. Also, ghosts are already dead, so you can kill ghosts in the game. They don't count towards the pacifist run, and that is really fun. They're like, killing ghosts doesn't count, because they're already dead. I was just like, that's great. Or like letting other characters pass away through whatever RNG and stuff also is fine. And then one more recommendation. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank by Happy by 3 in 30 minutes and 22 seconds. This is the second Turnip Boy game. I had seen some people play the first game. I had never seen anyone play the second game. One, very fun run. Do not watch this run if you do not like hearing people talk about bad RNG, because they had streamer RNG, or they had like games done quick RNG, whatever you want to call it. Basically, they were like, if I was doing this on my stream and trying to get the record, I would restart this. I would have already restarted this. Like that was a refrain you heard a lot, which was still enjoyable. It still made it fun, but like, yeah, it was a lot. Also, they had people on the couch from the community, which is fun. And the person doing it was good. They also had the creator of the game on the virtual couch. He was calling in, and that was fucking awesome. My favorite thing was very early on in the run, they're like, hey, why does this one thing get you so much more money than other things? And he was like, I don't remember, which was very fun because it was very human. He was just like, yeah, we made a couple of those things give you a lot of money because we thought that it would be helpful to have some money at that point. But he's like, yeah, I don't really remember why one thing gets you more money than the other. We just did that. And I liked that. I thought that was fun. Those are all my recommendations. There will be more from the fine folks at GDQ because that's continuing, and I will watch more of the stuff that I have not watched yet. Sorry, I realized I was building down here and not where you could see it. Let me show you the Yoshi. There's the Yoshi. We're building a tree now. We did a Yoshi and we did a tree. We got more to do. We'll, of course, be building this on Thursday. On Thursday, we will be completing this tree and also working on this other Lego set, which I'll show you over here. Sorry, I've got tape because this one is from Caleb. Caleb got us this build, and then Jeremy, my friend Jeremy, who does not watch the streams, but hi Jeremy. The Lego City Space Construction Mech is the other Lego set we'll be building. Here's the thing. By the end of that stream, we're going to finish both of these and have plenty of time to start another kit, which I don't have in front of me to show you, but is this kit, which I'll make this bigger. Bigger. There you go. Which is the G Fighter and the RX-782 combined together for the G Armor. And this one is going to have a whole lot of dumb bullshit to build. But yeah, we also have the mech, which is a fun little construction mech. So we were building that as well. And then again, most likely starting. So I will just list all three. But we'll definitely build both the Lego sets because we're like halfway done with this build. Yeah, we're halfway done with this anyway. So we'll get that going. And then there'll be more to build later. What have you all been writing in chat? Let me go back here. 10 hours in the Yakuza, playing like a dragon and trying to learn how to play shogi in real life for a mini game, says John. Watching the latest Boys, Demon Slayer 86, and MS Igloo. Nice. Yeah, Demon Slayer is done. There's going to be, the anime is over. The story will conclude in 3 movies, we learned. Will those movies have an anime adaptation? Probably. But at the very least, the story is continuing on in movie form. 3 movies, I should say. Been getting back to doing the main story stuff for Final Fantasy 14 and watching the grand finals of Tekken today. Wristfan says Final Fantasy 14 for me and watching a bit of GDQ. Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not watching live, but watching later. Oh, whoops. Oops. I missed a step, folks. Got to go back. I missed a step. Yes, that one has to go on there. There it is. Missed a step. Now I can put this on. Hell yeah. Building our tree here. Yeah, it is a cool mech. Got Mars First Logistics on Steam. Hell yeah, Lord Crash. And then you played a bit on Steam Deck. Wild that it's only 30 megs. Yeah, a lot of that is a smart use of its environment. Like, it recycles a lot of stuff and rebuilds a lot of things, and it is built smartly, I will say. I am not super capable of really detailed explaining why it's so compact, but they did a really good job of making it compact. I'm doing a straight save right now using just the pieces of money I get from completing jobs, which means I'm just pushing a box several hundred feet to its goal with a bullshit vehicle. Yes. Yeah, Lord Grash, I mean, you can do that. I did that for so long that now I just do whatever, and I'm really enjoying doing whatever in that game. But I totally understand the idea of playing by the rules. Got to get your blatant cash grab in. Yeah, sometimes. Look, when it comes to Demon Slayer doing 3 movies to conclude the story, I think that's great because I think that's going to be a really... I did this wrong, huh? I definitely did this wrong. These should be dark green, and these should be light green. Right? Yeah, that definitely looks wrong. I definitely did that incorrectly. Why did I do it like that? Come on, Pat. Anyway, we did our first major mistake of the build. But we'll fix that mistake right now. Nice and easy. I don't even have to look at instructions to fix this because it's not hard to fix. But yeah, I definitely did that wrong. I was just vibing. Artistic license, indeed. But yeah, no, when it comes to Demon Slayer, I think it makes sense because instead of breaking up those big, long fights, also, the manga fucking... Hey, sorry, the Demon Slayer manga kind of drags. So, if they condense some things, that's not the end of the world. Hopefully, it will still live up to the hype and still be awesome, but yeah, you could probably streamline some of that into a couple movies. I think it'll be neat. I think that is a fine approach to what they're doing, and we'll see what happens anyway, but I am excited to continue to watch those things in movie form. My understanding, they had to pad the hell out of this season to get the... Lashbrook, I wouldn't say it's padding. I would say it did have some filler, which isn't... Filler and padding, I think, are different things. Here's the thing. Demon Slayer doesn't have a lot of filler. It is a pretty straight adaptation. It expands on a few things. But yeah, I don't think it's too wrong to say that this last season... instead of saying like padding, I would say it more than other seasons. It was like not condensing anything, not like generally when you go from manga to anime, you like condense things down, you cut things for time, you take some shortcuts here and there with the story. Sometimes it's for clarity, sometimes it's with hindsight, sometimes it's just a product of there being too much adaptation. This one really used all the parts of the buffalo. I still think it was fucking good, but it was like, oh yeah, okay, you're just really trying to get as much out of this adaptation as you can. So yeah, then we'll have a movie. I also got Lark Grimoire, the Picross team's weird spin-off game that has me doing some weird fusion stuff to fill out this guy's magic grimoire of Picross puzzles. That sounds cool and weird. And weird and cool. All right, we're going to finish up the stream here. We're halfway done with this build, and we will do more of it on Thursday. I will say, my next stream, as I figure out who we're going to go raid, because we always end the stream with a raid, we're going to find somebody cool doing cool shit and go hang out with them. But I will say, my next stream here is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we are checking out, which you should definitely come by and see. You should come by and see me check out the latest expansion for Power Wash Simulator, the Alice in Wonderland expansion. That's going to be really silly and hopefully very cool. Of course, because of travel and all of that, Mary Kish is not here streaming tonight, which makes sense. And none of my normal Monday people are streaming. So we are going to raid the Old Timey Computer Show. When in doubt, we're going to go hang out with the Old Timey Computer Show and seeing whatever the fuck they're checking out tonight. Computer Chronicles about the Amiga 300 or 3000 from the year, was it 1990? This is a episode of Computer Chronicles from 1990. That's good and dumb. We're going to raid that. Oh, Laura Crash says, yeah, I just figured out she was in Europe last week because she made a video from her train. Yes, for one of the TwitchCons, one of the European TwitchCons, or the only European TwitchCon, I can't remember. But either way, we're going to go raid the Old Timey Computer Show. Please feel free to come along on this raid. Come back tomorrow. Yes, John, we always end with a raid. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm going to be, doing a bunch of bullshit in Power Wash Simulator. We're going to clean up some stuff. I'll do the first mission and then on my own during the day, and then we'll dive into it, and it'll be silly and weird. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Hope you had a great night. Thanks for being here as I finished a very cool model kit and built some of a fun Lego set. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.